Hello and welcome to the Medical Sales Podcast, and I am your host, Samuel. In this podcast, I interview top medical sales reps and leading medical sales executives across the entire country. And it doesn't matter what medical sales industry, from medical device to pharmaceutical to genetic testing to diagnostic lab, you name it. You will learn how to either break into the industry, be a top 5% performer within your role in sales, or climb the corporate ladder. Welcome to the Medical Sales Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Medical Sales Podcast. I'm your host, Samuel, and today we have with us another special guest, and she goes by the name of Samantha Patterson. Now, Samantha truly is special because she's one of our clients that came out of the Medical Sales Career Builder program. She was in a scrub tech role. She wanted to get into medical sales, and she was trying, but the things that she was working on just weren't working. She found us, she got into the program, and here we are today to talk about the experience that she had. You know, it really does warm my heart to be able to share these stories because for me, we're in the business of changing people's lives. Yes, the space we do that in is within medical sales, and yes, we do that through helping people attain just a complete different level of employment. But we also, but when you think about everything, and I was going to say we also, but actually what we do is we're changing lives. We're changing lives and we're helping professionals reach their dreams. And that's really just it. And so to be able to talk about it and discuss what was done, discuss where her head was at, and then when she went through the program, how she got to see and change and grow into the professional that got the offer, it's such a pleasure. So as always, we do our best to bring you innovative guests that are doing things differently in the medical sales space. And I really do hope you enjoy this interview. Hey, Samantha, how are we doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
I am fantastic. Why don't you tell everyone who you are and what you do?
My name's Samantha Patterson. I used to be a surgical technologist for about 6 years, I guess. And I'm now a territory manager in medical devices.
Ooh, what kind of medical devices?
Pain management specialty.
Pain management. Yep. Awesome. So, this is a treat because you actually graduated from our program, and just to be able to have you on the podcast now as an actual medical sales professional, it's a beautiful thing. So let's start there. Why don't you let the audience know what was going on before you found us? What were you doing? Where your head was? Give us the whole story.
Sure. So, as soon as I got my bachelor's degree, which was last summer, I went on the job search. I went to a sales conference, the National Sales Conference. I was trying to do the networking on my own and just kind of applying to anything and everything I came across because I didn't really narrow it down any. I was just open to anything. So any position I came across, I was applying. I got some interviews, but didn't get very far with them and just really kind of hit a wall, I guess, around March timeframe.
Sure.
And that's when you reached out to me and told me what the program was about. I did a little research of my own and felt like it was something that could definitely help me and push me forward quicker than I was doing on my own. So that's how I landed with you guys. And obviously I'm stoked that I did.
Amen to that. So let's backtrack a little bit. So we reached out to you because we knew that you were someone that wants to get into the industry, but what did it for you? What did you see, or what did you hear, or what did you maybe somebody talked to? I don't know, but what was your experience to make you say, you know what, I am going to do this?
So actually, before I talked to you, I talked to Jules. We connected on LinkedIn, and I found out later on that she was involved with the program, and I knew Jules was top notch. That was someone I wanted to learn from and follow in her footsteps. So that was a huge deciding factor for me. And just knowing that I'm going to have multiple mentors and people helping me and just teaching me the stuff that I was lacking on is what pushed me to go forward. And I was ready to make something happen. So
Absolutely. And Jules, everybody sings her praises. She's an amazing person to work with, and she's one of our sales trainers, and she's a powerhouse. So talk to us a little bit about neuromodulation. Did you know you were a surgical technologist? You want to get into anything? How did you land on where you are now?
Yeah, that was something that the program really helped me out with because, like I said, I was applying to anything and everything. I knew as a surgical tech, I really liked neuro. I fell in love with that specialty and just the kind of people that it brings in and you get to work with. So that was a big thing that the program helped me out with, is like narrowing it down, finding out what I'm passionate about and kind of guiding me that way.
Awesome. What would you say for people out there that are thinking about getting help, right? They might be listening to the episode and saying, you know what? If Samantha did it, then I at least got to look into this.
Uh,
What would you share with them to, give them a real reason to consider getting into the program?
oh man, there's a lot. I'm trying to decide which one I want to zone in on, but I think for me, the biggest help was having that support system and having the mentors who are so knowledgeable about the field give you that continuing guidance just the entire time. And I mean, trying to do it on my own, I found out really quick that it's going to take a really long time and take a major mental and emotional toll. That kind of dissipated when I joined the program, and like that's when I knew I was doing the right thing.
Mhm.
When the stress went down and it built my confidence up, that was my sign that I did the right thing. So if that's what somebody's struggling with, definitely check it out. Don't hesitate. Like, it's worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, everybody knows that these jobs require networking. People might not know how much these jobs require you kind of knowing your value proposition going into the interview. And that's something that we work with you in the program. Talk to us a little bit about what did you think it was before you did the program, and then going through the program and kind of learning how to give your own value proposition. What did you realize?
I realized I was selling myself short big time when I was trying to do it on my own. Because I mean, talking to people like Jules and Michelle and you, I mean, you guys may help me build that confidence. They're like, hey, you have this phenomenal experience. This is where you belong. You have the personality to go with it. I mean, you guys kind of helped me point out those different characteristics and values that I have that I could present to others in a confident manner rather than just something I pulled out of the sky, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. Absolutely. How many hours did you say you spent a week working the program?
Well, I told you from jump, I wanted to do it in like 3 weeks. I got humbled rather quickly, but I dove into it head first. I probably worked on it 8 or 9 hours a day.
Wow.
Just, I mean, I went to town on it. I was doing all the readings. I think I had all the books read within like 2 or 3 weeks. Like I was ready to go.
So, first of all, I love that. I love the fact that you wanted it so bad, you put in extra hours. We always tell our clients and anyone that's in the program that you got to give us at least 4 to 5 hours a week at the least. 8 or 9 hours a day, whole different ball game. But talk to us a little bit about when did it. You were doing what you're doing before the program. You learned how to do it in the program. And then I'm sure, you had to, there's a learning curve, right? You had to, okay,
Oh yeah.
this, I gotta understand this, I gotta say this. When did it just click? And then you kind of knew that, okay, that, you know what? The position's around the corner. When did it click for you?
I would say I would say probably about a month in, because that gave me a lot of time to like go through a lot of the coursework, the readings, having that one-on-one time with my mentors, the group meetings. But I would say about a month I knew like, okay, it's coming.
Oh,
I just need to be prepared and like keep doing what I'm doing, and here we are.
I love it. Now, let's fast forward to that moment you got the call. What was it like? Share, give us the whole story. What was happening? What were you doing? We want to know. Take us through it.
Um, so I was actually freaking out because I was supposed to hear a decision. She said either Monday or Tuesday. So Monday rolls around, I don't hear anything. I'm like, oh man, I didn't get it. Like that automatically just goes through the head. Tuesday comes, and finally about 2:30, I still hadn't heard anything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna send an email. They said she'd let me know either way, so nothing wrong sending an email. After I sent it, about 15 minutes later, I get a phone call, and it's from the woman who interviewed me. And she asked me, she's like, so Samantha, how do you feel like the interview went? I'm like, okay, never been asked that, but let's go with it. I was like, I feel really confident about it. Especially after talking to you guys, like I know this company is a great fit for me. This was my dream company, and it genuinely was. I mean, this is the company I told you at the beginning that this is who I want to wind up with. So we go back and forth a bit, and I asked her, I was like, well, the important question is, how do you feel like the interview went? And she just laughed and she's like, we feel really confident about it too, and that's why I'm calling to make you the offer.
Yeah.
And I immediately started crying.
Oh, come
It's
on.
just,
Come on.
man, it hit me like a ton of bricks
Sure.
because like that was the moment I knew I did it. All of the work, all the stress, all the tears prior are finally paying off. And like I'm fixing to get to go out here and prove myself and exceed expectations. This is all I've ever asked for, and I
Yeah.
got it.
Yes,
So,
you did. Yes, you did.
man,
I love it. All right. So let's go to the perspective of a surgical technologist. And I really want you to speak to the surgical technologists that are listening to this episode. You know, what would you tell them about, I'm sure, well, actually, why don't you tell us, would you say that a lot of surgical technologists want to be in medical sales, or are you an outlier?
I feel like if a lot of them knew the similarities and like how much of a bigger impact you can make, a lot of them would want to. I
Sure.
just I don't know how many of them. Some people just they love what they do, and honestly, I loved being a surgical tech.
Yeah.
Like I miss it honestly, but at the same time, like I knew I wanted to make that bigger impact and kind of have that sky's the limit opportunity that you don't have as a tech. So yeah, I mean, I think that's what kind of pushed me to get into the med device sales and just having the conversations with the reps. I would tell them to do it if medical device is something they've even considered once. I would say do it because there are so many similarities. But with med device, the sky's the limit. You know, you still have to build those relationships with the doctors, surgeons, whoever you're going to be working with, and you get to make such a bigger impact. You know, I mean, that was what pushed me to do it from a tech perspective. I love the medical field. I want to spend my career in the medical field, and like this is just kind of icing on the cake that I get to do it in this format and have even more patient contact with
Mhm.
something that I enjoyed when it came to med device versus surgical tech. So I mean, yeah, just do it. Like
Mhm.
that's my advice is
Just
go
go
for
for
it.
it. Hey, come
Yeah.
on. I'm gonna ask you two questions. What are you most excited about in this role? And what do you feel one of your biggest challenges might be?
So I'm most excited about the difference I'm going to get to make because I'm in pain management specialty. I get to fight the opioid epidemic, which is something that has affected so many people, family members, friends of mine, that it's something I'm incredibly passionate about. And I get to spend my day helping people not have to go through what I went through. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I think the thing that I'm going to struggle with the most, I'm a super empathetic person. So I feel everyone's feelings. I'm going to have more patient contact in this role. And I think it's going to be a challenge for me to kind of not let the super emotional side show and kind of just be in that provider role, if that makes
So,
sense.
yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, I
like
think,
solution oriented focus.
right. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be my biggest challenge.
Mhm. Mhm. I can't wait to talk to you in maybe 3 to 6 months and find out from you, because what I love learning is what you thought pain management medical devices is going to be, and
Mm,
then after you're in it, what it actually is. And
yeah.
man, if I could sit here and share with you all the crazy stories I've heard, as far as looking at it from that perspective, it would be pretty. We'd be here a while, but yeah, we're definitely gonna check in on you, to find out how you're
Good.
pain management space.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Absolutely. All right, Samantha, we're gonna bring this to a close. We're gonna have a lightning round. Every guest that comes on the show experiences this, and you are too. Are you ready?
That's it.
All right, let's do it. So number one, you have, well, let me put the premise out there. So you have 10 seconds to answer the question, 4 questions. First question being, what's the best book you've read in the last 6 months?
The Challenger cell.
Heck yeah. And,
The,
and
out
where
of the out of the
where'd you
program.
where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that from? The challenge.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like it made a huge impact on me. So it was definitely a good one.
Yeah, yeah. That's why we make it required reading, because as you just stated, it has an impact. Okay. Best TV show or movie you've seen in the last 6 months?
Oh no. So I'm a trash TV person. I am all about the Bachelor and Bachelorette. I love drama that doesn't include me. So like I'm here for it.
Hey, come on. We all have our guilty
I'm turning red. Yeah.
pleasure. It's all good. All right. And then best meal you've had in the last 6 months.
So I actually just learned how to make this chicken pasta crock pot meal that's like Olive Garden dressing and stuff. So I'm here for it. If you want the recipe, I'll text it to you. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely. A recipe, everybody, recipe will be in the show notes. So
I got
we'll be
you.
forwarding the recipe to this meeting. Okay. And then last question. What's the best experience you've had in the last 6 months?
Getting the job.
Getting the job.
Getting my first medical device sales job, hands down.
We're so proud of you, Samantha. You worked hard. You stuck in there, and 8 or 9 hours a day is a lot.
Yes.
We're gonna put a disclaimer out there, everyone. That is not an everyday thing, and that is not something that everyone does. But Samantha did really want it, and she wanted it quickly, and she was willing to put in the work. Well, with our know-how, connections, and training, she's willing to put in the work to make it happen, and she did. So, Samantha, we're so proud of you. We can't wait to see all the amazing things you do out there in medical device sales. And thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And that was Samantha Patterson. What a wonderful story. So maybe you're someone that Samantha was those months ago, and you want to be in healthcare sales. You want to be in a medical device sales role or pharmaceutical sales role or a diagnostic sales role, but you want to be in healthcare and you want to be selling within healthcare. Maybe you've been trying to network with people on LinkedIn. Maybe you have gotten a few interviews that couldn't get past the phone screen, or gotten to the third and fourth stages and you just can't seem to get that offer letter. And you might even be losing the drive, right? You might be thinking to yourself, you know what? I do want this, but maybe it's not for me, or maybe it's not for me right now. Well, I'm here to challenge all of that and talk to you about a program that you just heard one of our clients graduate from called the Medical Sales Career Builder. It's there to get you to where you want to be. Teach you how, teach you what, and really, really work on how you show up so that you get these interviews, you knock them out of the park, and you're selected and joining a team. Please visit evolveyoursuccess.com if this is you. Do not wonder, do not wait, don't drag your feet. You've been wanting this. Let's do something about it. Again, visit evolveyoursuccess.com, select apply now, send us your information, and you'll be immediately prompted to schedule with one of our account executives who will interview you to see if you're a good fit for the program. And if you are, get you started and be singing a completely different song 4 to 5 months later when we're talking about which company you've been training under. This can be your reality. So again, visit evolveyoursuccess.com. And as always, thank you for listening to the Medical Sales Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And remember, I have a couple programs that show you exactly how to break into the medical sales industry, become a top-performing medical sales professional, and also how to masterfully navigate your career to executive level leadership. Check out these programs and learn more at evolveyoursuccess.com. Stay tuned for more awesome content with amazing interviews.